Hi there, construction inspector. Imagine you're on a construction site, surrounded by the hum of machinery and a mountain of tasks. But what if writing your daily inspection report wasn't one of those tasks? Imagine this: you simply talk to your phone. For example, crews started trenching with two CAT 320 excavators with 6 hours of operation, and boom, your report is done. The AI transcribes your words, fixes grammar, adapts to your accent, and even translates it if needed. It organizes everything into labor, equipment, and remarks, complete with timestamps and weather data automatically populated into your reports. No typing, no hassle, just to speak and let the AI handle the rest. Ready to see the future of construction reporting?
Let's
Let's
try
show
it
you how.
by first sharing your location. So this is the location that I'm sharing here at around South San Francisco, and you can see here, boom, location with the link. Click on it, and it goes to Google, and that's your location. All right, back to here, and you can see here the weather is a very comprehensive weather information. The temperature feels like min, max, pressure, humidity, sea level, ground level, visibility, wind speed, wind gust. Everything gets recorded here that is very important for your construction. So, for example, hey Craney, my name is John Lewis, and I'm the structure representative for this job site. The crew from ABC Excavation began their work promptly, consisting of three skilled excavator operators who utilized two CAT-320 hydraulic excavators, 20-ton capacity each, to excavate trenches within the cofferdam. These trenches, intended the root wad installation, were excavated to the specified depth of 3 feet and a width of 2.5 feet. The work was performed efficiently over an 8-hour shift. The excavated material was transported by a Bobcat S650 skid steer loader to the designated spoil area. The equipment operated for 6 hours and significantly expedited the removal of soil from the confined cofferdam area. So you can see the timestamp here. You can see the three skilled excavator operators from ABC Excavation in the labor, two CAT 320 hydraulic excavators, 20-ton capacity each, and Bobcat that gets into equipment, and inspector remarks. The formwork team from XYZ Carpentry, consisting of 5 carpenters, worked for 6 hours to construct forms for the abutment number 1 footing. The forms were inspected and approved for alignment and integrity prior to the scheduled concrete pour. Concurrently, 2 welders from MNO Welding installed prefabricated rebar cages in the trenches, ensuring compliance with design specifications. Their tasks were completed over a 7-hour period. And you can see here the timestamp, the date, everything gets populated in here. Hey Craney, in the afternoon, a concrete mixer truck with an 8 cubic yard capacity arrived on site at 1 p.m. The concrete was poured for abutment number 1 footing following a successful slump test, which measured a slump of 5 inches, indicating proper consistency. The concrete placement was completed by 3 p.m., and no issues such as segregation or honeycomb were observed during the pour. The date timestamp, we didn't have anything about the labor this time, so this is why it's empty. And then equipment, concrete mixer truck, 8 cubic yard capacity, and it shows, it gives all the information that we literally told it. All right, you can see here that we have all these information intermittently sending it to the chatbot, and it records everything for us. All right, you can see here that photos get recorded as well. It's a site photo and timestamp as well with each site photo. If you want to see how I built this bot and the AI agent, this is the AI agent workflow. And if you want to know how I build it, please follow along with this video. All right, let's go over this workflow, this AI agent for construction inspection daily reports. So it basically encompasses these 5 tasks or items. Use Telegram's voice messaging, walk on site and talk to your Telegram, whatever you see in your construction operation, and use the Telegram's chat box to write crews' legal names and equipment brands. Specifically, these are some complicated or not common nouns, so these are proper nouns. Then especially for some names that are longer or odd names, so it's better to use the text or write it down. And take site photos and send them via Telegram. So you can snap photos, whatever you see, probably like some anomalies or deficiencies in the construction operation. You can take a picture of that, or you can take a picture of the project process or progress. And then finally, AI agent will auto-generate your final report. So it connects all these different tools together in using the AI assistant as well. So it's the here I use the OpenAI model. So you can use any other models like Copilot, like from Microsoft, or you can use Gemini. That's another large language model. So those are all available out there. For this practice problem, so I use the OpenAI model. The tools that you need, the tool stacks, they include the Telegram, some very simple JSON coding, Google Drive credentials, Google Sheets, and OpenWeatherMap. So most of the time for construction operations, weather information is very necessary. It's very important. From the safety aspect, from the construction operation aspect, weather data is very important. And let's see how the whole thing got put together and how to use it. First of all, starting from Telegram. So Telegram is an application for your phone, smartphone if you're using Android or you're using iOS. So for both, it's available. So first, go there in Telegram, find the bot folder. So basically, you're creating a bot, a chat bot inside the Telegram. So once you did that, so /start, that's how the bug is started. And then it asks you for some naming. Name your bot. I named it Craney. I don't know how I chose that name, but it's just like gimmicky, Craney. And then after you do that, then the bot will give you a token, which is the API for that bot. After that, you copy that token. So this is basically the bot that as if it's you're chatting with a person. So here you can see here in the credentials. If you go ahead to your credentials, then you paste that token in here. And after you do that, and this is also the API for Telegram, so you copy that as well, you save it. So those are your credentials. So anytime you send a text, you send any type of message. So here it says the trigger on message, any type of message, photo, voice, text, location, anything. It gets activated. If there's a file, then the file gets the output in here. You can see, and the JSON format for that is also you can see here. It's a different depiction or how you show them. So that's basically the file, and you file unique ID, the type, everything that gets populated here. So the setting, you don't want to change anything in the setting. If you don't know, sometimes the credentials, they have like some kind of issues, then you go ahead and you use the docs here and read more about it. So that was the Telegram setup. Now, the platform itself. The platform itself is called N8N. N8N, I believe it's a German open source code software. So you can use it online as well as offline. So offline is free if you want to host everything locally. It's free. You can use Docker. There's another cloud services that you can just pay for the clouds, like around $5 or so. Then that's basically you're hosting your N8N over there. The cloud services by N8N by itself, it's much easier, but it's a little bit expensive. It's around like $20 a month or so if you're using their own cloud services. But anyways, that's for a brief introduction about the N8N. N8N is an open source platform that it connects visually all these different tools stacked together to create an agent for you and automate your workflow. So most of the time, the construction, it has a lot of administrative paperwork. And that repetitive paperwork can be automated using these platforms. So here we did the Telegram trigger as well. After that, you're adding a node. So how to add a node? You right click in here and add a node, and it gets here the list. You can also search the node, and you can also see all these subsets of all these categories on the right side. So find this switch node. So the switch node is basically, let's make this in table format. And the switch node is basically f function that you're using in Excel. So here are the rules. You're setting up the conditions. So if the telegram is a text message, if that is there or it exists, so rename the text. If there's a voice file or voice message, then rename it to voice. And if it's a photo, rename it to photo. And if it's a location, exists or coordinates, then say location. So in the setting, we didn't do anything. If you have any problems, then you can go to documentation and choose the documentation. So for example, if I'm sending a voice message, so here I have to deactivate it in here and go back here and test this. So let's go again, task workflow. It still thinks. Let me forward the voice in here. And you see the voice gets through all this workflow and it gets populated in here. And let's see. Here we go. The output is the message ID. The voice got one item, and the photo, there is nothing, right? So because I sent him a voice message. And the text is empty, so only one voice is there. So the same thing if you're using a location. So you can use location in here. So I'm using this location, send it over there and test. So, okay, test workflow, and it should show a location here. There's no photo, voice, or text, but the location is out there with the IDs in latitude and longitude. So that's the second node. Then we recognized everything if it's a JSON.text or voice or photo or location. So if it's text, then go to this edit field, and this is the Telegram trigger, item.json.message.text. So we got that as manual mapping, and we call them a text. The output should be test as well. So here, let's say hi, and test it. Okay, let's do this. And go here. Okay, it say hi. It came. It recognized the text. So the title is text. So we want to organize everything, and we're gonna call it the fields, whatever we want the OpenAI to recognize that. So we call that a text. Okay. So here, if it's a voice, then download that voice or GET file. So using the Telegram API to get that voice file. So for example, I'm sending the voice again and testing this, test the data. So here it gets the voice. As soon as it recognizes the voice, it goes to this route. And double click on the voice, and here it says download. The download is on as well. So make sure that this download is on or true. So you're extracting the voice data. After you did that, then you're transcribing that voice data using the Whisper API. The OpenAI Whisper model is a speech-to-text recognition. So here you can use the audio, so it shows it in the binary format. So this is the JSON format, and you can also use it here in a table format. So whatever the voice message that I sent it received it, OpenAI transcribed it, transcribed a recording. So OpenAI limits the size of the audio to 25 megabytes. So make sure that it's lower than 25. So usually you're good for a minute or 2 minutes that you're recording, but it's like intermittently you're recording that and it gets processed. So you call it data. The field is called data, and you're not changing the settings. So settings are default. If it gives you more headaches, then go to docs and then how to connect your OpenAI with Any10. So here I already set it up. It says the connection is tested successfully. So the OpenAI gives you an API key, and make sure that API key is activated. And you are using the API from OpenAI V1. So that's basically their link. So once you see that everything, your credentials are working, and then it transcribes it for you. So see, we converted basically a voice file to a text file here. So you can see this in text format. After that, when everything gets transcribed, so again, you are trying to organize everything and call the field, because most of the time the output from OpenAI, sometimes it's a JSON.message.text, JSON.response.text. So you want to make sure that everything is regular or consistent. So you call it text. Whatever it comes from that node, it is text. This should be called the text. So the reason that I say that, because in here, it makes it much easier in here. So when you're putting your prompt, so this is the prompt that I put for that OpenAI node. So if you got the JSON.text within these triple quotes is basically the input for the OpenAI. Then you do this, this, and that. So your prompt needs to be pretty clear for the OpenAI to recognize what exactly you want. Read every word or sentence of this prompt, and then try to enhance it every single time. Use it on a regular OpenAI chat, and make sure that this works for you and you're not confusing the LLM. So the prompt is pretty important to make sure that everything is conveyed correctly to the model. After you did that, this is your output. The output it gets which model is used. This is the 4.0 mini. That's the cheapest actually. And created, object, ID, usage, and choices. So these are all your choices with the different titles and fields. So once the OpenAI gives you an output like this, then it gets populated into the Google Sheets. And you already saw that our prompt included that make sure your output should be in JSON format. And the column names should be all these fields: date and time, weather, crew, equipment, narrative. So the output needs to be like this. And it already recognized it, right? And output content as JSON. So you can see here, weather, crew, equipment, and narrative. So once you do that, then you populate every single field or item or output from the OpenAI and populate it into their designated columns in Google Sheets. And here, how to connect your Google Sheets with n8n. So you have to go, again, the credentials. So this is the credentials for your account. And first of all, go to the console.google Cloud, I believe. So enable your API for Google Sheets, for Google Drives, and for all the Google Workspace tools. Then you're going to be able to sign in, and there will be a pop-up blocker here. So you got to make sure that you allow that. And also there's a consent form that you have to create the consent form. Make sure that you understand the documentation in here as well, and based on your data privacy and your organization setup. Most of the organization, they are set up with Microsoft ecosystem, but you make sure that your documents are in the Google. So this example includes the Google Workspace. So that's your Google Sheets, and authentication, everything is done. And the resource is sheet within document. So make sure that you choose that, and then append row. So one is the append or update row, append, clear, create, delete rows, and get rows. So for our purpose, append row is important. We're not going to delete, we're not going to update. So from list, so that's the daily report, which is my file, my sheet. And then from list, sheet 1. Sheet 1 in here, you can see sheet 1 is in there, and it populates kind of raw data. And the next sheets is a little bit of a formatting per se for your forms. Whatever format that your company is using, then you can put it in that format, the header, like a charge code for that project and contract ID or whatever. Then you refer all these cells from the raw data that you collected from n8n. So it formats it everything, and then photos also. You grab all these site photos from the inident or the agent. All right, get back here. So that's your Google Sheets setup. This is very important. The Google Sheets, since this is the final task, this output should look like this. So make sure that every column it gets added accurately, and the prompt is accurate for your OpenAI as well. So that way your input and output should be consistent. So we went through the text route, we went through the voice route, and there is a photo route. So for photos, I used two nodes of Google Sheets. For some reason, I couldn't update the Google Sheets, so I added another one, so that way I can get the updated one. But you can just connect directly from the Google Drive to Google Sheets. So here, the condition, the ruling, if the input from Telegram or from user is a photo, then it needs to be recorded in a Google Drive. And for example, this is the Google Drive that all the photos that I took, and it gets recorded in here. And after that, each photo has got a link, and that link needs to be populated. The web content link needs to be populated in the Google Sheet. The which sheet is a sheet number 1, and in the photos. So if you go to here, there's a sheet number 1 in the photos. So in photos, because it's a link and it needs a little editing here within the Google Sheets. So if you go to here in the photos sheet, or you click on this one, so it says image sheet 1 and sheet 1 G9. So that's reference, and mode, make sure the mode is 1. It means like it's true. So do you want to show the image thumbnail? Yes. So make sure that is 1. And when you enter that, it shows here. And this is also automated based on the size of the row. And if you increase the size of the row per your report requirements, or as long as that operation or whatever you want to showcase is clear, and then it's per your preference as well. So I did this for all these rows, the same row height, so that's why the row height is fixed. So if you right click it and resize the row, fit to data is not that good, because if you see fit to data, it makes it very small. It shows very small. So I did a default, like let's say 400 for all of them, and it shows 400. So that's the setup for your Google Sheets. So that's for your photos. And for Google Drive, it's a node that you have to be able to enable the API for Google Drive in the console, the Google Console Cloud. And after that, you make sure you are connected, everything is green, and you have a client ID, secret code, or whatever that provided by the Google. So after that, here you can see the input field name is data, and upload. So upload, make sure that you choose upload, because your file or photo needs to be transferred to the Google Drive first, and then creates a link. And the other thing that before I forget, make sure that this folder is shared with everybody. And as soon as you have the link, everything is shared. So after that, the location. For location route, the same thing. This node is OpenWeatherMap. You add a node, search for weather. You can see here, weather map. And once you add it, the input it gets from the Google Map location, and the output it goes to Google Sheets. So for here, if you have the OpenWeatherMap, and let me try this by forwarding the location information from here, and let's do that. It goes from this route and it gets populated into Google Sheets. So let's say if it goes from here and you click on it and you see all the information, it came in with the location, because it has a latitude and longitude, and it grabs all the information in here. And I asked them to, I wanted to input everything about or all information from the OpenWeatherMap into our form, because the speed, the wind speed, visibility, the main information, our base, weather, coordinates, everything, I wanted to record it. So after that, you go here, and your input is weather map. You have longitude, latitude, and you populate everything in the weather column. So this is like manually input, and you can literally drag and drop it in here. So that's how easy it is. After you did that, then this is the weather, this is the location. Location is another column in our Google Sheets. So this is why we need to get all these information for our Google Sheets. So you can see here, final report, nope, sheet one, this is the location. So the location gets populated every time you share the location, it gets the longitude and latitude. And this column gets populated with the information based on that location. All right, everything is done, location and weather, and that's basically it. And your final product is going to be a final report in here. If you want to go and hit the print and go portrait, so that's literally your report. And if you want to go ahead and print your photos, so that's your report for photos, portrait, and all the photos get appended with the header on all pages. So you can see the header on all pages, all the project information, and then whatever the photos that you shared with them. So that's your report. So please follow for more videos and more information about the platform itself. And it's coming up in next videos. Thank you so much, and please hit the subscribe button and put your ideas in the comments as well. What automation in civil engineering or your line of business that needs to be done, and I'll start working on them.